First, ladies and gentlemen, the senior football players. Scott Berry, son of Steve and Pam Berry. Brandon Boswell, son of Margot Boswell. Eric Day, son of Ron and Lori Day. Zach Curry, son of Jeffrey Curry and Kim and Craig Van Black. Blake Gaines, son of Bill Gaines and Gina Gaines. Kevin Garrity, son of Bob and Susie Garrity. Linnell Hines, son of Carla Hines. Gordy Holloway, son of Michelle and Larry Holloway. Darrell Huff, son of Brian and Lisa Huff. Escorted by Curtis Ivy Sr. and his brother Sean. Ed Johnson, son of Maureen Johnson and the late Robert Johnson. Frank Kaiser, son of Robin and Mark Kaiser. Adam Perillo, son of Dave and Teresa Perillo. Joe Porteous, son of Dave and Amy Porteous. Preston Rodriguez, son of Kimberly Rodriguez and grandson of Cliff Leader. Ian Samuelson, son of Kurt and Melissa Samuelson. Spencer Shalliol, son of Chris Shalliol. Tyler Shook, son of Dave and Julie Shook and Karen and Tony Bozo. And Todd Young, son of Tom and Beatrice Young. Cheerleaders, Haley Hennessy, daughter of Mike Hennessy and Tina Fitch. Allison Fitch, daughter of Ricky and Tina Fitch. Allison Finley, daughter of Jill Finley. Gentry Heisler, daughter of Judy and Mike Stump and Carrie Heisler. Megan Good, daughter of Mike and Julie Good. Tashara Hudson, daughter of Kevin and Wendy Hudson. And Evie Vargas, daughter of Celia Ortiz and Marcelina Vargas Lopez. Ladies and gentlemen, these are our Rocky seniors and cheerleaders. We'd like to thank them for a great 4 years and wish them success in their future. Tonight, the Rockies play host to Rochester.
So is Kyle Seacrest. And also number 32 for the Rochester Zebras. Make that 72. Nate Basham.
Meadows and Seacrest, 1,400 yards last year total rushing, so they can run the ball.
Here's Brock Smith with a line drive into the end zone. And another touchback for Brock Smith. That's all he did in the Bremen game a week ago. Well, I'll tell you, Larry, how important is that to keep your opponent on the 20 to start their first possession of the season?
It just stops any momentum from building off of a 50-yard run back or anything like that. I just think it's just awesome. Ball at 20, that's why I want to start every one of their drives.
Travis Rahm, a 6'2", 179-pound senior, coming off a 71-yard passing performance with a touchdown. He's going to have Kyle Seacrest split to the near side along with Logan Strem. And split back, loaded left, and now Seacrest goes in motion to the right. Travis Rahm's going to throw to the near side. They're going to pick on Hayden, and the pass is almost intercepted by inside linebacker Tyler Shuck. It was a little cut route toward the middle for Meadows, and Shuck almost had a pick.
Boy, very aggressive offense for Rochester, and Tyler just mistimed that jump, or it would have been a huge turnover right away. And like Coach Barron was saying last week, now you're looking at 2nd and 10. So if you don't complete that first down pass, it really hurts you in high school.
So now it's going to be 2nd and 10 for the Zebras. Max will be lined up in the eye this time. Meadows at the tail. Kevin Seacrest at the fullback position. The split receiver to the right here. And Rahm is going to hand it off to Meadows over the left guard, and he's met on a hit by Huff right at the 23. So that'll be a gain of about 3 yards, and it's going to be 3rd and a long 7 coming up here for the Zebras.
Well, Darrell did just a wonderful job of filling the hole. He saw the blocking scheme, saw the hole open up, and just filled it and met the running back right there.
On a Maggie Moo's Ice Cream Treatery scoreboard, it is no score, seconds into this game. Rochester breaks the huddle. Logan Strem will split wide left. Kyle Seacrest will be the receiver up top. Split back formation. Offset left for Rahm, the quarterback under the center. Here's the snap. Rahm's dropping back. He's looking over for a middle pass, and it's not there for Strem, and the Rockies had it covered. And that will be a punt now coming up from the Rochester Zebras.
Boy, having it covered is really saying it like it is. We had 4 Rockies around that ball. No chance for completion there whatsoever. And the inexperience of young Travis Rahm, not young, he's a senior, but again, just inexperience showed on that one, on that series.
So almost a minute into this game, and Rochester is 4 and out. And back to punt this one away will be Nelson.
Curtis Ivy back. Boy, it's just going to be fun to watch him return punts this year.
He is planted at his 45-yard line. Here's a low snap. Nelson grabs it, toes it. That's an end over end, sending Ivy to his left. It bounces at the 45. At the Rocky 40, he picks it up. He's going to try to run it near side. He slips by 1. Keeps stretching it near side. Got a block, 45-50. Right sideline, Rochester 40. Slips by 1 at the 30. Brought down at the 21-yard line by Meadows.
Curtis Ivy doing what he does best.
A nothing play that started from his 40 all the way to the Rochester 23-yard line.
Trying to make a decision on whether or not to pick it up, Tony, and then the defense just didn't get to him, so he picks it up, starts to go left, cuts back to the right, gets around 1 with his speed, and then his line of blockers was right there, and he had 4 great blocks to spring him and give us great field position.
Split back formation here to begin this offensive drive, as you got Hodges and Kaiser behind Holloway. The wingback left will be Houston here, and split off to the left. You've got Rocky number 84, Eddie Johnson. Johnson, a 6'3", 170-pound senior. And Holloway gets under the center, coming off a 5-for-6 performance against Bremen last Friday. Drops back. He wants to throw to Linnell over the middle. Caught it. 5. Score! Linnell Hines on the first play of the game. Catches a 22-yarder, and the Rockies get on the board 6-0.
Well, we talked about in Coach's Corner, how often do you go to Linnell? 2 or 3 times a game on that tight end dump over the middle, but that time they start the game out of it, stunned Rochester. He was wide open, and as Coach said last week, he just has tremendous hands, brought it down, kept his footing, and made it into the end zone.
John Barron, very excited for his quarterback, Gordy Holloway, who threw a perfect pass to Linnell at the 5-yard line, and Linnell did the rest. Smith for the extra point. It's up, and it is good! Rockies on their first play of the game go 21 yards. It's a pass completion. Holloway to Himes. Himes scores his first touchdown of the season, and the Rockies lead 7-0. You're listening to Rockies football. And on the Maggie Moo's Ice Cream Treatery scoreboard, it's a touchdown. Rockies score on their first drive of the game.
Brock is 1 for 1 in getting it in the end zone. Let's see what he does here.
This one's high. And Meadows will grab it right at his 1. Nope, he was in the end zone. That right foot was in the end zone. He tried to keep it from getting into the end zone, but could not. And another touchback kick by Brock Smith.
Well, that was a great one because they had plenty of hang time to get the defense down there. Even if he would have ran it back, he would have not made it to the 20. So great job, Brock Smith. And the Rockies are on a roll. Momentum's all on our side, Tony.
That is 8 straight touchbacks now for Rocky opponents because of Brock Smith. Zebras will line up in the eye with a receiver top and bottom. Seacrest at the top, and it's spread down low, and it's going to be a handball. Seacrest had it.
Stuff going on in there. Nope, they're staying down.
They're going to say the knee was down. That was a quarterback keep. My apologies, as Travis Rahm, I think, just kind of fumbled it there on the play and was able to recover for his Zebras. So nothing gained there. Well, maybe they give him a yard. So it's going to be 2nd and 9.
Exactly.
So not a pretty play, but it got the Zebras a yard. And now with the ball planted up to the Rochester 21, 2nd and 9 coming up for the Zebras. Kyle Seacrest will split off to the near side. They got a receiver up top, and that is Chris Messersmith, the junior. Backs lined up in the eye, and it's going to be a pitch near side to Meadows. Himes turns it back in, but Meadows still keeps on his feet to the 25, taking the outside, and the Rockies will stop him there. It'll be a long 3-yard run for Colt Meadows. That play had very easily had written on it until Linnell Himes turned Meadows in. And when he did that, that allowed everybody else to pursue.
Yeah, the pursue is the key word there, is that once he got turned in, he broke 3 tackles, but really didn't gain any yardage. He's going horizontal, sort of north and south, and just a great job of team defense on that one. 3rd and 5, Tony.
9:20 left to go here in the first quarter. Rockies lead by a touchdown. Split back formation for the Zebras. Receivers top and bottom here for Rahm. Rahm, long count's going to roll back to throw. Over the middle, looking long. He's trying to find Seacrest. Broken up by Hayden, who got the left hand in there.
How impressive was that? Zach Hayden was there all the way. They challenged the young starter, and he stood his ground the whole way, Tony. No separation.
So Zach Hayden with a fine defensive play there for the Rockies. Will now make it another 4th down situation, and the flag is thrown.
Sorry, Tony, I should have caught that.
Flag too.
I was down there watching Zach, and I didn't see that flag.
They'll pick it up and wave it off. So the Zebras will be forced to punt away again.
Well, to me, Tony, that was our only questionable weak spot, and he met the challenge the first time, that's for sure.
I tell you, he was bumping Seacrest, and that was the key. And by that time, Hayden just matched him step for step. So the Zebras will punt it away for a 2nd time in this first quarter, trailing by a touchdown.
See if they try to kick it away from Ivy this time.
Nelson from his 10-yard line. Here's the snap, and he'll let it go, and Ivy's going to roam to his right. He'll let it bounce at his 45, picks it up, gets to the 50, takes a whole 35-40. Rochester 35 before he's brought down by an arm tackle by Chris Messersmith, a 6'1 junior of the Rochester Zebras.
Again, great field position for the Rockies. You just got to come out here and watch how Curtis runs. He just is so smooth when he runs. It's just a pleasure to watch.
Under 9 minutes to go here, and on the Maggie Moo's Ice Cream Treatery scoreboard, it's 7-0 in favor of the Rockies. And the Vanco Development first half, brought to you by Vanco Development. It'll be a T formation with Johnson split off to the left as a lone receiver. You got Hodges, Kaiser, and it's going to be a handoff to Hodges, and he gets stuffed right at the 35. That's going to be a loss of about a half a yard for the Rockies on that carry.
You can sure tell Rochester was waiting for that play, and a lot of scouting on that from the Bremen game, and stopped it cold.
So it's going to be second down and 11 coming up for the Rockies. Now we'll work into double tight formation as a T backfield. Kaiser on the right, Hodges on the left, Smith in the middle, and it's going to be a handoff to Kaiser. Stops, spins off, keeps on his feet, 35, turns it into the 21 before the Zebras pile on him. And boy, that play should have been absolutely nothing, but Kaiser made something out of it.
Yeah, just all individual effort. There was no blocking there to give him a whole run through. And he was able to get it into doable third down yardage, although it's still 3rd and 8. Something that last year we just didn't run into too many of these 3rd and 8s. See how we do on it this year.
The ball resting at the Rochester 32-yard line. Again, a T formation, double tights, and here's Holloway. He's going to roll to his right to throw the ball downfield, looking for Himes into the corner at the 10. Himes couldn't bring it down as he tried to one-arm it, and it goes incomplete. So now it'll be 4th down and 8. And I'll tell you, we got Brock Smith as a very strong kicker. But last year, we didn't see John Barron do a lot of field goal attempts just because, even though it's 4th and 8, he had field position and he believed he had the troops to get the first down. It'll be interesting to see how that confidence goes this time.
It looks like they're bringing a T in. So we'll see what they're going to do. Obviously, they're down to 14 seconds, so they got to get it rock and rolling here.
So Brock Smith is going to try to hit a field goal here.
Houston will hold.
The ball, the tee is right at the 41-yard line. This will be a 51-yard, a 37-yarder. Gets blocked by Rochester, and the ball's loose. Rochester picks it up at the 40 before they get down at the 45-yard line. So the Zebras come up with a big block. The Zebras, or the Rockies, I should say, just did not really get out of the gate good on that.
Well, and the coaching staff's got to get that decision made in a hurry. It's easy for us to stay up here in the booth, but that whole play developed a little late, and we had one young man going in there to block at the last second, and that's not going to get the job done. Coach Barron knows that. Rochester now with the ball.
7.5 minutes remaining. The Rockies still lead by touchdown. 7-0 to score in the Maggie Moo's Ice Cream Treatery scoreboard. A 4-man front defensively for the Rockies. Split backs offensively, receiver top and bottom. At the handoff to Meadows on the left wing side. He's brought down after a yard gain. Linnell Himes able to get there. So did Houston Hodges on the tackles.
Again, similar to last year, when Linnell tackled somebody, you don't even need to see his numbers. You just see the gentleman just get thrown backwards, and you know, Boswell's the same way. They're just so strong.
Now, Linnell had knee braces on during warm-ups. I notice he doesn't have knee braces on now.
Yeah, just taking precaution, I think, Tony, but I'm not sure. That would be my guess.
So again, a 4-man front, and now moving over to the right end defensively will be Todd Young for the Rockies defensively. Split back formations with a receiver near side for Rom. Rockies show blitz, they drop the gun, and that's going to be 5 yards for the Rochester Zebras.
Boswell jumped, and that made the offensive lineman jump. So I would think that should be against Rochester, although they're going to have a little huddle to see if Boswell was in the neutral zone. So they're going to have a little conversation about it, and then they're going to walk 5 yards off against Rochester.
So the Zebras get called for the offside.
Second guy always gets caught, Tony.
Well, they learned that in the classroom, Dad. If you throw the first spit wad, don't retaliate because you'll be the one to get caught.
Well, you know, and that's part of the long snap count of a quarterback that's, again, not had a lot of snaps. He made his offensive line set too long down in their stance. Got to get up there, see the defense, and make it happen, Tony.
6:35 and counting to go in the opening quarter. The Rockies lead by touchdown. 2nd and 14 for the Zebras from their 42. Out of a shotgun, Rom's got plenty of time now being pressured. Dumped it over to Meadows. They cut it to 40, 45, 50. Looks for a hole, takes it near side. Leg trip, but lunges for a first down to the Rocky 43, 44-yard line. Depending where they spot the football, he may be shy, and that's going to be the case. But it's going to be a third and less than a yard.
That was a tough spot, but it's only third.
So Meadows turned a nice play in on a little bubble screen.
Yeah, good block on Brock Smith there to spring that. Morocco had the outside containment there and just was blown out of that play.
He's talked about Meadows had 145 yards against Peru last week, had 561 yards last year on 78 carries, and had 8 touchdowns. Look at this, a T formation backfield for Rochester, and a handoff that the Rockies say, Colt Meadows got the handoff, and he got stopped dead in his tracks. No gain, and now it's going to be 4th down and a long yard here for the Zebras at the Rocky 45. So if you're Mark Miller, do you go for it here and run the risk of giving up field position?
He's doing a lot of substituting. Boy, I tell you, I didn't like that call, Tony, because he ran horizontally there when he only needed a yard. And we came with a full blitz and got to the running back in the backfield. Trent Kaiser, nice tackle, and Curtis Ivy is back, so he thinks they're punting. And we're still waiting for Rochester to get all their players out here.
And that's going to be the case here as Kyle Nelson will drop back just outside the 40-yard line. He will let it go from the 45. It's high in the air, and a knuckleball that Ivy almost fair caught, but he lets it roll down inside the 15 to the 14. So Nelson got a nice roll. We're still in the first quarter, and the Rockies will have it 1st and 10 from their 14-yard line. This is the first real deep field position that Plymouth has had to work out of, leading 7-0 with 4:50 left to go on our Maggie News scoreboard.
There were a lot of good defense, but not a lot of offense yet for either side. We'll see what the Rockies can do here with it. We need a long drive, Tony. That's what helped us so much last year. We put together long drives.
Ball to right hash mark, split back formation. It's going to be handoff. Nope, and that is Trent Kaiser right at the point of exchange. No gain for the Rockies on that carry. Boy, Rochester sniffed that out as if they knew it was coming. Rockies football on AM 1050 Sports is being brought to you in part by Michiana Contracting. More than 50 years of construction experience, Michiana Contracting handles everything from general electrical, mechanical, and highway division construction. Proud to support Big Red Sports and WTCA.
Let's take a look at those linebackers for Rochester, Tony. Look how close to the line of scrimmage they are.
T formation, double tights for the Rockies. It's going to be a Holloway handoff, and it's going to be to the first back through, and that was Brock Smith, and they stuffed him possibly for a loss of a yard.
Lost a couple yards. Did not look smooth on that handoff. And boy, Rochester's defensive line and linebackers are just blowing us out on the run. We just do not have a run game.
Inside the box, aren't they? 3rd and 13 now for the Rockies.
Second time we've had 3rd and long.
It'll be 3rd and 13.
And last year, this Rockies team in 3rd down situations weren't all that bad, per se. And here they are, 3rd and 13 from the 12. It's a pitch left side to Kaiser. Can he get it home? Finds it to the 15 momentarily. Look at him carrying 3 people with him up to the 20-yard line. Well shy of the first down. He needed to get up to the 24. So that will end up being a punting situation here for the Plymouth Rockies. And the Zebras hold off defensively.
Yeah, kind of surprised that our offensive line can't create some holes, but we're also talking about a Rochester defense is bringing everybody up to the line of scrimmage to stop the run. So we're just going to have to go over the middle to Linnell a few more times, especially on 1st down when they're not looking for it.
All right.
Come on, Brock. We need a good punt here.
Brock Smith from his 5 will let it go, and it's going to be fielded at the Rochester 30. Meadows picks it up. He's going to get by 1, 2, but not 3.
Yes.
Dropped at the 27-yard line. Preston Rodriguez got it on the tackle, as did TK. Trent Kaiser.
Boy, how great is it to have a great special teams kicker like Brock Smith. That was just a tremendous punt, a great bounce off the punt, and wow, we were there to field it on defense, and they should have had the ball around the 50. Instead, they have the ball on the 28-yard line.
Almost a little over 60-yard punt right there. All right, Rochester in a 1st and 10. Rom is 1 for 4 throwing the football. Meadows with 8 yards on the ground. Backs in the eye, receiver to the near side. Rom is going to hand it off to Meadows, and the Rockies pause. Well, he says, not tonight. and he will stop that run in its tracks.
Well, the only way you're going to run against Plymouth up the middle is in the fourth quarter when Boz is a little winded, but let me tell you, he's getting in better shape every week, and he just blew that play apart.
No gain, a loss of 4 on that carry for Rochester. That's how quick our front four defensively blew through that offensive Rochester line.
Yeah, Boz is 3'11", and he exploded off that snap and met the running back at the exchange. Great job.
2nd and 14 now for the Zebras. They're at the 24. Kyle Seacrest, the lone receiver to the left. The back's lined up in the eye. Kevin Seacrest, the full. Meadows, the tail. Rahm under the center, gets the snap. He's going to roll back, drop back, looks to throw out deep outside to his right receiver. Messerschmitt's caught at the 50, and he's going to get down at the Plymouth 40-yard line.
Beat Ivy over the middle. Great pass. And he just outstretched hands and a great catch.
I tell you, Larry, that's about the best you can analyze that because that's what it was.
Yep.
That was just a great pass and a better concentrated catch by Chris Messerschmitt, the 6'1", 176-pound junior who didn't have a catch coming into tonight.
So they're into Plymouth territory after that great catch and pass, and they're on the 42-yard line of Plymouth.
2 plays, 30 yards on this drive here for the Zebras. The ball now in a 1st and 10. Here's the Rockies jumping as Boswell jumped the gun, and that's going to cost the Rockies 5 yards.
They take great concentration by the offensive line of Rochester. Again, a long snap count. And that time Rochester stayed still, and we didn't, and they pick up 5 yards easy.
So now it's going to be 1st down and 5 for the Zebras at the 37-yard line of Plymouth. Well, I tell you, if you thought this game was going to be a blowout, you were sorely mistaken.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with the defensive line of Rochester so far, stopping our run.
Backs lined up in the eye for Rob. He's got Seacrest off to the left. He comes through in motion, and he's going to get stopped. Oh, man, Todd Young held his ground on that left end, and that will be a loss. Or close to a negative gainer right there.
Yeah, he just lost 4 of the yards that they picked up on the penalty. And that's all about staying in your box, staying in your zone. Don't over-pursue and staying where you belong and waiting for that ball to come back to you. And, boy, he was right there.
Down to 40 seconds remaining in the opening quarter. And the Maggie Moo's Ice Cream Treatery scoreboard, 7-0 Rockies. Down to 33 seconds to go in the 1st. Shotgun formation. Ron drops back.
Rush.
Looking for an out route by Kyle Seacrest. Caught it at the 25. He beat Zach Hayden. Hayden caught him at the 20. But that's going to be a 1st down passing play, about 21 yards, or maybe 19-yard passing play. That with 23 and a half seconds left gets Rochester closer to the end zone.
Yeah, I'd love to see a replay of that. There was a lot of physical contact there. I really thought Hayden got pushed off of that play, but doesn't matter. It created space, and he hit him right on the dead run. Nice pass again.
Down to 15 seconds, and Rochester will make their approach to the line with 12. Down to 10. They break their huddle. They're now lining up with 7, and I think they're not going to get this playoff. Yeah. Rom is just going to say, forget it. We'll just take a breather. So we have completed 1 quarter of football here at the Rock Pile. And Linnell Hines is the recipient of a 21-yard passing play on the first play of the Rocky offensive evening. And the Rockies have a 7-0 lead, but it's the defense that's getting questioned now. In motion goes Kyle Seacrest to the outside. It's a pitch to the left side to Kevin Seacrest. The fullback is going to climb up to the 15 before he's brought down right around the 15-yard line. So a gain of about 3 yards on that carry for Rochester. It's 2nd down and about 7 coming up at the Rocky 15.
71 yards total offense for Rochester in that first quarter, only 30 yards for Plymouth. Rushing yards, only 9 yards rushing for Plymouth, and 21 yards passing. Of course, that 21-yard pass was the touchdown of Linnell Hines.
2nd and 7 for the Zebras. They're at the 15-yard line of the Rockies. They are threatening for their first score of the evening. Split back formation here for Rom. He's got Kyle Seacrest to the right, Strem to the left, and it's going to be a handoff to Seacrest. The Rockies stuff him right at the 15 for no gain.
Yeah, Linnell Himes is there, host of Rockies. Again, Boz stuffing up that middle. It's really going to be hard to run on this up the middle. Brock Smith's punt, by the way, was 54 yards.
54, was it?
Yeah, how great that was to keep us, to get us out of that hole earlier in that first quarter.
3rd and 7 now for the Zebras at the 15-yard line of the Rockies.
It'll be 3rd and 7.
Rom comes from the far sideline with the play call.
It's not good when Zach Hayden leads us in tackles in that first quarter.
Strem and Kyle Seacrest are off to the right, actually trips to the right as Meadows joins him on the inside. Seacrest now goes in motion to load it all to the right. A quick out.
There we go. There we go.
Linnell Himes, 30, 40, 50, he's gone! Linnell Himes with a sensational read and a touchdown! My goodness! Linnell Himes with a tremendous catch from his 20-yard line. He caught a little quick out that was intended for Colt Meadows, and he ran it like a buck, and then he closed the chapter down the sideline to get a touchdown for the Rockies. 13-0. Mercy.
80-yard interception return for a touchdown by Linnell. We'll get the official measurements when we get the stats here, but that's what it looked like to Tony and I, was 80 yards. And we were just talking about getting quarterback pressure, and he got it. He got his hands up there. He blocked 2 last week against Bremen. This time, he not only does he block it, he just caught it. He just catches it and goes the other way. What hands?
Brock Smith for the PAT. He's kicking at the north end. Here's the boot. It's up and right through the uprights, and the Rockies now lead it 14-0 on your Maggie News Ice Cream Treatery scoreboard. We're back after this.
Send your kid. Momentum had swung towards Rochester. They had a nice drive going. They had it down to the 15-yard line. And, Linnell just picks it out of the air on a screen pass and goes 80 yards the other way for a touchdown. Now it's 14-0 instead of 7-7, Tony. That's the kind of play he can make.
Brock Smith will boot it from his 40-yard line, kicking right to left on your radio dial. There's the boot, end over end. Wow. Meadows will have to catch it right at the goal line. And he's going to make it to the 15-20. There he's straight down at the 24-yard line. But Brock Smith almost got another touchback.
Well, that's how you go to college right there. He had tremendous height on that kickoff, and the ball landed right there at the goal line. And, they're going to see that on film. That was a nice kick. Now the low line driver, it was just beautiful.
Rockies football on AM 1050 Sports, brought to you in part by Beef O'Brady's. Head to Beef's after the game tonight for 45-cent wing night. See you at Beef's. Want to say hi to Will and the good folks at Beef O'Brady's. Tuning in tonight to Rockies football on AM 1050 Sports. Strem is the receiver up top. He's got Seacrest joining him as a wingback left. Split backs otherwise behind quarterback Rom. It's going to be pitched over to the left side of Kevin Seacrest. He's going to dig his way up to the 25 before he's leg tripped right at the 27.
Houston came up from the safety spot to make the tackle. Nice pursuit by Houston Hodges there from the safety spot. Read that pitch, got up there, and again, they had some good yardage. He gained 5, but he stopped it right there.
2 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. 14-0 Rockies. It'll be 2nd and 6 now for the Rochester Zebras. The clock now dwindling down to 9:40. Backs will be lined up in the I. Receivers, twins to the right for Rom. Now in motion goes Seacrest to the right, and Rom's going to roll back. He's looking over the middle. Yes, could be picked off by Hayden. No, he just couldn't get there, and then he gets bumped afterwards. But Zach Hayden was on with the coverage for the Rockies. And by the way, Zach would like to say a special hi to his grandmother, Grandma Hayden, listening in tonight for the ball game.
Well, Blake Gaines came up the middle on that one. And again, that's something I was just talking about. We just haven't been getting to the quarterback, and the defensive line has got to him twice in a row now.
3rd down and 6, and that's now at the 27-yard line of Rochester. The Zebras break the huddle.
This is a perfect time, in my opinion, to throw the blitz on. Good field position for us. A young quarterback that without a lot of snaps.
Shotgun formation with 2 backs One to the left of him, one to the right. Here come the Rockies. They're showing it. They're bringing it. Rob dumps it over the middle. Caught by Kyle Secrets. Spins off a tackle. 30, 35 to the 40. Got a block out high. 45. Down to the 50. Jake down by Houston Hodges at the 45. And a block from the back near at the Rochester 40-yard line. Now it was a flag thrown.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they're going to bring that one all the way back.
I think Logan Strim is going to get called for this no-no.
Yeah, Zach Hayden was coming up to try to make the tackle after a brilliant run, and he got blocked in the back by the receiver, and that's really going to negate a huge play for Rochester, and that's going to bring that one back, a block in the back from the point of attack there about the 42-yard line. Is going to put him on the 32.
Well, we talked about that Kevin Secrest, Larry. 135 carries last year for Rochester and 858 yards, 7 touchdowns, averaged 6 yards of carry. He's a monster.
One of those things where you throw that flag down because they moved that ball all the way back. Nope, they're not going to. Yep, first down. They gave him the first down. Okay, couldn't see it.
Rochester gets the first down despite the penalty. And now it's going to be 1st and 10 from the Plymouth 33, from the Rochester 33-yard line. Travis Rahm will get the play call. 9:13 and counting left to go in the second quarter. The Rockies up a couple of touchdowns. Strim will be the receiver wide left. Kyle Secrest will line up wide right. Backs are in the I formation, and it's going to be a handoff to Meadows over the right guard, and the Rockies kept pushing it backwards, drop him for a loss, clear back to the 30-yard line, and some more negative yardage on the ground for the Rochester Zebras.
A lot of Rockies were involved there, but Darrell Huff actually brought him down, and just great pursuit down the line. They just kept pushing him down the line, no hole, no hole, no hole, and finally a tackle.
So now it is going to be 2nd down at 11 for the Zebras, and it's planted back at the Rochester 32-yard line.
Pretty great football here for only the second game of the season, Tony.
It will be Kyle Secrest off to the left, and off to the right it's Cameron Lozano. Split backs, and Rom's going to throw it to the left side for Secrest, and he's going to overshoot him incomplete. Zach Hayden on the coverage again. So Zach has been holding his own, beat only once so far in this first half.
You definitely know that you're talking about a great coach who's been there a long time, Mark Miller, as he's went after Zach Hayden 3 times now, and that's maybe the only inexperienced link that we have out there. And then also, he knew we were going to blitz on that 3rd down, so he runs a screen play over the middle and gets the first down, but then he gets a block in the back.
3rd and 11 now for the Zebras.
Great coaching.
Strim wide left, Secrest wide right. Single back is Kevin Secrest. In motion comes Meadows to the near side. Dropping back to throw is Rob. He's going to get pressured. Throws to the near side to Meadows. Great catch at the 34, but the Rockies just storm him and hit him down right at the 33-yard line is where they'll spot the football. Well, I'll tell you what I'm seeing, and I'm liking an awful lot here, is the pursuit. I mean, when the ball is in the hands of a receiver or the running back, it's not just one Rocky player, it's several.
Yeah, Kaiser just slowed him up, and then Houston's so fast, and people forget how pure speed Houston Hodges has. He closes so fast that he just knocked him down instantly, and Rockies' defense was really strong on that possession, and then Rochester punting.
7.5 left to go, and Nelson will punt it from his 20-yard line. And here comes the boot. Ivy will come in. This ball's going to drop right at the Rocky 35 and roll to the 30. Ivy lets it go, and it stops rolling at the 27-yard line. So that's where the Rockies will have it. 1st and 10 with 7:17 left to go. Time now to give away a Pizza Hut pizza. Let's give it away to caller number 10. Caller number 10, and I trying a new Edge pizza today. They kicked the crust out and made room for more toppings. Split back formation. Holloway hands it off. It's to Tyler Shook getting his first carry of the night. Climbs his way up to the 35-yard line. And that's going to be about a good 6 to 7 yard gain right there for the Plymouth senior.
And that is what we had all last year, is great yardage on 1st down. So now the coaching staff has 2nd down and 3. Those are great play calls. You can do a lot of things with 2nd and 3.
Split back formation again. It's Shook and Brock Smith this time. The wing back left is Hodges. It's going to be a handoff to the fullback. Shook again. First down run across the 40. Saw a lot of Shook fan club shirts here tonight.
Yeah, and that's why it's great to have somebody like Mr. Patrick up here watching as they really stopped our running attack the first two possessions, Tony, and now we're doing a few things different, and it's working.
So now it's 1st and 10 from the Plymouth 41-yard line, back to a T formation, double tights. Here's Holloway under the center, hands it off in the misdirection to Brock Smith. Couldn't turn the corner, and the Rockies gained a couple yards. Is that Tyler Shook getting the carry? Yep, it was Tyler Shook. I'm sorry, I got faked out of my headsets here on that one.
Yeah, but no gain. 2nd and 9 now. A lot tougher to call 2nd and 9.
See, that's the tough thing about this offense. A lot of misdirection. Right. If I can't read it up here, I don't know how in the world an opponent can.
We need to go upstairs here.
2nd and 9. Split back formation, the wing back right is Hodges. Hands off to Shook again. Changes directions to the near side. Gets across the 45. Brought down at the 48-yard line for a gain of about 5. Scheidler on the stop for the Rochester Zebras with 5:45 to go here in the opening half.
Yeah, he's trying to run off that right side, which we had so much success with, and then he's bringing it back to the middle to pick up those extra 3 yards. So a nice job by Tyler Shook.
You're listening to the Vanco Development first half where the Rockies lead 14-0. It'll be a split back formation with a wing back left and Houston Hodges. Under the center's Holloway in this 3rd and 3. Hand off to Shook. First down run inside the 50 to the Rochester 45. Dropped down at the 44. That'll move the chains for the Big Red.
Good vision by Tyler Shook. Again, not a lot of experience out of that backfield at the varsity level, but he's reading the blocks very well.
So with 5:15 and counting, 14-0 Rockies on the Maggie News Ashking True to the scoreboard. 1st and 10 for the Rockies. Split back formation. Brock Smith, wing back right this time. And under the center is Holloway. He's going to pick a hand up and over the middle of the Himes. Caught it at the 35. Dropped down at the 33.
There's just no one that we're going to play all year that we're going to have a way to stop that play. You can't go to it all the time, but just a great play action fake.
Wendell lost his shoe.
Yep. And it brought the linebackers up on that play action fake, and he was open right over the middle. First down Rockies.
Coming in for him will be number 80 for the Rockies, Brandon Kleckner, 6'2", 173-pound junior.
Tony, let's try to keep an eye on these first couple games. How many times he can't bring down a ball. I mean, he just catches everything within his grasp. It's amazing.
T formation, double tights again for the Rockies here. Holloway into the center. It's going to be a misdirection to Hodges. Gets across the 30. Still churning. And the pile moves up an extra yard down to the 27. So Hodges with a nice carry.
Well, we're doing a great job of running off that right side of Skylar Evans and Damon Howe, and then cutting it back up the middle. That was a different running back, but the exact same run.
Clock shows 4:09 and counting left to go in the first half. 2nd and 6 for the Rockies. The ball at the 28-yard line of Rochester. T formation. It's going to be a pitch to the outside to Houston. Cuts it toward the middle. 25, 20. Spin at the 15 where he's finally brought down. That's a first down run for the athletic junior Houston Hodges.
See, in football, it takes more than one player to make a great play. As Gordy Holloway just made a great pitch there at the very last second, and then all of a sudden Houston Hodges had grass everywhere in front of him. He makes a couple great moves and finishes it off well, so he also did a great job. But nice combination of quarterback, running back.
Hodges coming off a 9-carry, 60-yard performance against Bremen last week with a touchdown. His longest run was 12 yards, and he was able to pick up a few there. Right now, an 8-play, 53-yard drive. Here's a little throw to the outside, trying to find Brock Smith, but it goes off incomplete.
Yeah, they had Houston Hodges at quarterback there, and again, Tony talked about last week, they're going to mix it up from time to time, and that time the pass just a little errant.
Gordy Holloway is now going to check back into the game. 3:31 left to go here to second quarter, 14-0. Rockies have the lead. So now it's 2nd and 10 from the Rochester 15. Split back formation here, Hodges and Shook. And here comes the misdirection and the handoff left side. Brock brought down on a great play defensively by Kevin Seacrest, who kept following on the delay. And the Rockies may lose some yards here on this one.
Yeah, just a nice drive stopper there by the Rochester Zebras. That play took a little too long to develop, and Rochester just kept coming and attacking. Curtis Ivey now into the offense for one of the first times.
So now it's going to be 3rd down and 13 for the Rockies. The ball backed up to the 18-yard line, so we lost 3 yards there.
And this obviously a passing down. We'll see if Rochester blitzes. Ivy way out to the right. Go ahead.
Ivy will go way right. T formation otherwise behind Holloway. That's Holloway going to roll to it, hand it off to the outside. There's Houston getting a nice run inside the 10 to 5. He scores! Houston Hodges a great run, but a flag is thrown at the 15, and it's going to be brought back.
Yeah, it was inside holding against the Rockies as he really saw that, the official did, and threw his flag right down there. They're going to huddle up and go at it again. I think everybody knew that happened. I couldn't see the number, but everybody knew it happened, and we're getting ready for another down.
Great run by Houston nonetheless, and it gets negated because of the penalty.
Yeah, they brought Curtis in as a decoy. He sprung way out to the right there, had Rochester looking at him, and a great run by Houston Hodges, but one hold too much there.
2:38 left to go here in the second quarter. The score remains 14-0 on the Maggie Moose scoreboard.
And seriously, I'd like to see us just try to go for 2 downs here, not try to pick it all off at once, and you know, a nice little 9-yard reception here, and then go at it on 4th down.
Curtis Ivey will split wide right. T formation behind quarterback Gordy Holloway. Hodges on the left side, Smith on the right. And I think that shook in the middle, and it's going to be Holloway to throw a shot over the middle. Got by Ivey inside the 10. 5, score! Curtis Ivey! Gordy Holloway, Larry, had to throw that right between 2 defenders and hit the mark.
Wow, I never dreamed that pass would get in there. There were Rocky Zebras everywhere, but just a great pass. And then nice catch because he had hands flailing all around him. Ivy concentrating, bringing the ball in. But more impressive was the pass. It was a senior awesome pass.
Boy, that was pretty. 20-0 now.
That's a Saturday afternoon type pass. That was beautiful.
Brock Smith for his 3rd point after. Hodges will be holding for him, and here's the snap, the place, the boot. It's up, and it is no good.
I had a good vision.
Right off to the left is Larry jinx.
There's no way.
So on our Maggie Moose Ice Cream Treatery scoreboard, it's 20-0. Rockies have the lead. We're back after this 30-second timeout.
One of the marks of a good team, Tony, is can you recover from a big penalty? And they did there. And just a great pass, great catch, and touchdown.
Brock Smith approaches from his 40. Got a great leg into it. It's high end over end. Meadows will grab it inside his 10. Gets up to the 15, takes the left side 20. He's chased by Ivy, who catches him at the 30. And that's where the Zebras will have possession right around the 31-yard line.
I'll tell you, don't count out this Rochester crew. These 2 running backs, I mean, I've seen some great things so far out of Meadows and Seacrest.
They're good. They are good. 2:25 left to go here in the second quarter. 20-0. The Rockies have the lead on the Maggie Moose Ice Cream Treatery scoreboard. Maggie Moose at the Pilgrim Place Shopping Center.
This is the 6th possession for Rochester.
Receiver to the top, receiver to the bottom. Out of the shotgun formation is Rom. Ball to left hash mark. The snap. Rom's going to throw the football to the near side. He's going to try to find Mersch. He caught it. Ivy will tackle him right at the 41. That'll be about a 7-yard passing play for the Zebras on their 1st down.
A lot of time to throw the ball and see the field, and he found his receiver open.
So it'll be 2nd down and about, I'm going to say 6 yards on that passing play, so it's 2nd and 4 coming up. The ball right at the 37-yard line. Rochester breaks the huddle. They'll send Mersch off to the left. Dustin, the 6', 180-pound senior, and Logan Strem, a 5'10", 152-pound senior, off to the right. backs in the eye, and Seacrest and Meadows. Rom into the center. He's going to roll back to his left. Flushed off to his left. Looks downfield. Pass intercepted. No! Brock Smith couldn't bring it down. He had the lane, Larry. Just couldn't bring it down.
Great read on Brock's part. You saw him running full speed before he even threw the ball. As the quarterback just laid his eyes on the receiver and just laid his eyes on there too long. Great defense by the Rockies. Now it's 3rd and 4. Boy, what a battle there with Linnell Himes. I'll catch the number of the Rochester Zebra that's in front of him, but those
probably
two guys,
the tight end Nelson, who's their biggest guy.
Man, they are really going at it big time.
3rd and 5 coming up now for Rochester. And again, the ball right at the 37-yard line of the Zebras. They got Mersch to the left, and this is Seacrest down low. Ball to right hash mark, backs in the eye. Whistle sounds, flag is thrown, and time ran out on the Zebras apparently.
Delayed.
Offside Plymouth. Okay, my apologies.
Wind up, Zach Hayden must have been in the neutral zone there. Wind up offside.
Well, you got to have a little bit of a learning curve.
Yeah, Houston's talking to him, which is again great leadership.
So that will cost the Rockies a first down as the Zebras will move the chains, and it climbs the ball up to the 42-yard line of Rochester. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Zebras from the 42. 20-0. The Rockies had the lead with 1:34 to go in the first half, brought to you by Banco Development. Single back, and now Meadows goes in motion. Here's Rom looking to throw over the middle, and again to nobody. He was trying to find his tight end, Kyle Nelson. He just never got out of the gate quick enough, and nor did Ron give him time to, I don't think. So the incomplete pass makes it 2nd and 10.
Yeah, he's getting time to throw most of the time, but his receivers just do not have the explosive speed that Ivy does and Houston Hodges does back there.
And you heard Coach Miller talk about in the pregame, Larry, sometimes Travis just pulls the trigger too early. He wants to make things happen too quick. That's just him getting acclimated to the position. So now the clock shows 1:25 remaining. It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Zebras from the 42-yard line of Rochester. They got Mersch at the top, and down low Seacrest again. Split back formation, Kevin Seacrest and Meadows. Rom drops back in the pocket. Throws over the middle. Pass looked like it got deflected, but a one-arm catch by Kyle Seacrest at the 35 goes incomplete.
Waved it off. Waved it off. Wow.
Incomplete. Seacrest tried to grab it before it hit the dirt, but it goes incomplete.
Seacrest is an athlete. He doesn't even talk about it, though, so obviously he must have felt there was a trap. Good job by the official getting right down on that and making a call.
Down to 1:21.
It's easier to call it a good call when it goes our way.
Yeah. 3rd and 10 now for the Zebras from the 42. Dustin Mersch will go to the left.
See if we can get a pick here.
Down low is Strim. Shotgun again for Rom. And the Rockies going to show a little twist defensively. There they come after Rom. It's going to be a screen pass going incomplete as Meadows just didn't get to the spot.
Nope.
And Rom probably overled him.
And he had some blockers there.
Yeah.
And there's another one, Tony, just like you said. He just didn't wait till his running back got out there.
So it's going to be 4th and 10 and a punting situation for the Zebras.
Nice defense. Nice defense.
So the ball now at the 42-yard line of Rochester, and they'll punt it away. Back to receiver will be Curtis Ivy, who has made things happen on every return tonight.
Let's see if Curtis moves up a little bit, because now
all but one, I should say.
They're kicking it high now and not letting him return it. Let's see if he moves up and just calls for a fair catch.
Here we go. Nelson grabs it, boots it from the 34. And it's going to go to the near sideline and caught by John Barron right at the 29.
Coach B was almost on the field there.
Coach B was almost on the field then. I think Mike Kirshner's going over to tell him, hey, Coach, let the ball drop before you get there.
Yeah, Coach B kind of just walks down the other end, starts talking on his headset. All right, what do we do here, Tony? Do we go airborne and try to make something happen? Or
1:10. I mean, at this juncture, I'm all about keeping momentum. And why not? Why not keep trying?
I'm just saying you just get Ivy. Let's see if Ivy's in there. Nope.
Yes, he is. Ivy comes to the near side as a lone receiver.
Look at Linnell. Look at Ivy. See what you can do.
You got T formation behind Holloway. It's going to be Holloway going to throw the ball. He's nailed as he dumps it off, but got it off to Hodges. Escapes one tackle and then belted down at the 27 for a loss of about 4, maybe 3 yards on that play.
Yeah, Houston was open, but he was open in a spot where it didn't really do him any good. He was 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. By the time anything happened, Rochester was there.
Down to 43 seconds left to go in the first half. Brought to you by Banco Development and the Mega News Ice Cream Treatery scoreboard. It's 20-0 Rockies.
Yeah, we're just letting that clock burn, so they're probably just going to go long here.
Ivy this time will hanker down on the right sideline with T formation behind Holloway. And Holloway's going to drop back. He's got pressure. Oh, Nelson belted him to throw over the middle. Oh, Houston tried to one-arm it down, but could not. It goes incomplete right at midfield. Holloway slow in getting up after Kyle Nelson just blew him in the hip.
I hope they look at that on film. I can't believe that was Damon, but somebody just didn't get the job done there. They could have blocked him one more time, and he wouldn't have got there, but nice job by Rochester getting to Gordy Holloway.
So now it's down to 18 seconds.
That's a pretty big hit that Gordy didn't need to take, in my opinion.
It will be split back formation with a wing T left, and wing is Houston. Holloway's going to pitch. It's to Smith. He's going to cut to the near 30. Nice inside cut 40, and he's dropped down to the 45. The first down run for the Rocky running back stops the clock at 12.3 seconds.
If we decide to call a timeout, the change or stop and timeout, Plymouth.
Well, that gives me an opportunity to wish my mother-in-law, Lana Arvison, a happy birthday tomorrow.
But you have to be impressed with the overall team that Plymouth's got out there on the field everywhere.
Only 8 rushing yards for what is normally a heavy running Rochester team. Split back formation. Holloway's going to throw it. He's going to get flushed out of the pocket. Stays on his feet still. Looks to throw a far sideline. Pass deflected by Himes. Incomplete. At 4.7 seconds left. Good job on the coverage for Rochester.
Nice job by Gordy of just making time to throw, scrambling, and that's what the big college quarterbacks and pros can do, is they can create more time for themselves with their feet, and Gordy did that there. Actually a fairly decent pass and really just kind of deflected right at the end and kind of messed up Linnell's timing.
So 4.7 seconds left. Let's see what the Rockies do here with the ball near the left hash mark side of the field. Ivy will split off to the left.
I tell you, let's just streak Ivy, see what he can do.
Split back formation. Here's a pitch to the right side. Flag thrown as Hodges takes the pitch, tries to run it to the outside. He gets taken out of bounds along right in front of the Rochester area. And they got a illegal motion on the Rockies. And his time has expired. So I think we may have to do the play over again. Nope, I think that'll be doing it. So that will end it. We're at halftime. And our halftime brought to you by our good friends at Country Auto Center, where everybody gets a great deal. And it's 20-0. The Rockies have the lead on the Maggie News Ice Cream Treatery scoreboard. Stay tuned. The Scottaroo is next. Takes the middle, 25, and there he's brought down to the 30-yard line. And making a tackle there is Artie Scheidler, the 5'8", 155-pound senior for the Zebras. The Rockies, they got decent field position to start the second half as they lead it by 3 touchdowns, 20-0. And will have the ball right at the 30-yard line to begin the third quarter.
Curtis Ivy staying out there as a wide receiver split in.
He'll go off to the right. We're going to have split backs with a wing back left in Brock Smith. Hodges and Shalio is in for his first carry of the night. Gets over the right tackle, lowers his head, and gains about 3 yards. So welcome back Spencer Shalio to that lineup, and he is going to bring a nice added dimension to this offense and help give a breather to a lot of other key players.
And boy, he's just got that pent-up emotion of wanting to play, and finally he can, so you're going to see a lot of explosion out of his first couple runs, I bet.
2nd and 7 now for the Rockies as Curtis Ivy will split wide left. You got Shalio in the middle of T formation here. Holloway under the center, and here comes the snap from the 33. Shalio right up the gut. He's going to climb his way across the 40 and lunges for a first down. So that'll move the chains for the Plymouth Rockies. Spencer Shalio on the second straight carry will move the chains.
The great thing about Spencer there is he made the first man miss, and that allowed him to get upfield, and then a nice dive to get to the first down marker.
Now, Spencer didn't get a lot of time on offense last year. He had 5 carries for only a couple of yards, but what he did was play some really good defense last year. T formation, Ivy split wide left as Holloway under the center. It's going to be a handoff to Shalio again, met head on right at the 41. A gain of a yard. And boy, I tell you, I don't know who hit him. That might have been Rochester number 58, Artie Scheidler and Andrew Greaves.
Yeah, and Skylar Evans is the one that got beat on that block, and that doesn't happen very often.
I'm sure Gordy Holloway is going to relay the message from Coach Kirshner. That better not happen again. 10 and a half left to go in the third. The Rockies lead 20-0 on a Maggie Moo's Ice Cream Treatery scoreboard. It'll be Ivy splitting off to the left. Split back formation now for Holloway. So a different look formation-wise, and it's a handoff and a quick handoff. Shalio over the left side. 45, stays on his feet to the 50. Boy, I'll tell you, all those scramble drills paid off there. Shalio just kept scrambling and just bear crawling until he got close to the first down, up to the 49-yard line, shy a yard of getting a first down. What a nice run by Spence.
And we ran off the left side, picked some things up again. Hard to believe we've been scouted so hard already, but you know, I think the coaching staff now realizing we got to go different places. We went to the left and did a nice job.
I want to tell you now, you don't be discarding Scott Barony and Samuelson on that left side. They're tough. T formation with a wide receiver right. 3rd and 1. It's going to be a handoff, and it's going to be a first down run for Spencer Shalio. No, he got stopped.
Went off the right side.
Off the right side, yeah.
Last week against Bremen, those were 8-yard runs, but tonight he was stopped for no gain.
So now it's going to be 3rd and 1, and the ball right at the 4th and 1. So 4th and 1 at the 49-yard line of Rochester. The Rockies need this yard to move the chains. T formation again for Holloway. Here is the snap. It's going to be a handoff. Shalio this time. He'll keep churning, and that gets close.
All on the spot, Tony. All on the spot.
We'll see where the official will mark it. It is right near the P at midfield, the stem of the P.
That was a great job by Rochester of standing.
That's a first down.
All right.
So Spencer Shalio is able to lunge forward enough. Spencer's going to learn the more carries he gets, the lower he's got to stay. He's a strong back, but he becomes even more of a devastating runner if he can just keep those shoulders square and low, because he's got the God-given speed. Split back formation with a wing back right and Smith, and it's going to be a pitch to the outside to Hodges. Hodges takes the right side to the 45, stretched at 40, 35 down the sideline, goes on, hit on to a Rochester defender, that being Cameron Rosano, and they both go out of bounds at the Rochester 29-yard line. A first down run for Houston Hodges, and that will move the chains.
Well, that was just a great pitch. That was an Austin Hodges play all the way, his older brother, as he gets the pitch and takes it upfield right along the hash mark and then jukes to the outside, blows by the defender, and picks up a huge gain down to the 30 of Rochester.
So the ball at the 30-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Rockies, trying to get another touchdown on the board as Ivy splits off to the left. T formation again for Holloway under the center. As Shalio's the middleman, and he will lead a block for Brock Smith, and he guts it up the middle to the 25. So that'll be a gain of 5 yards on that carry for Brock Smith, who came into tonight's game there with 92 yards and a couple of touchdowns. So you tack on his 18, make that 5 more, 23 yards he's got. Brock is becoming a very important player on our offensive side of things as well.
And anybody can get us 5 yards on first down, the coach is going to love, and that's what he did right there.
T formation again. Hodges, Shalio, Smith, Ivy wide left, and it's going to be a quick little cut route for Ivy. Caught it at the 15, and he's tripped up at the 9.
Boy, he's so much more confident this year.
Boy, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Boy, doesn't he? You just said it right there. Curtis Ivy looks like he has just completely did a new personality replacement of himself.
This is such a strong cut, and then the ball was right on the money again, and again, it just looks like a college pass play.
So first and goal for the Rockies now at the Rochester 9. Split back formation with the wing right. That's Smith. That's going to be a Holloway. He's going to try to tuck and run. Ooh, he got met up right at the 9. Rochester gets a nice job as Kevin Seacrest gets in there along with the tight end Kyle Nilsson on the stop. So no gain on that running play as Holloway tucked and run and ran out of real estate.
But a great job, I think, by the coaching staff of just really mixing it up in this half, Tony. They're just calling plays all different and not letting Rochester set back on anything. Look for Linnell over the middle here on one of these next two plays. He's just so hard to defend over the middle.
6:45 remaining here in the third quarter. 2nd and 9 coming up for the Rockies. Split backs again behind Holloway with a wing right. And that's going to be a handoff to Shalio up the middle. Gets inside the 5, and that's as far as he'll get. So Spencer Shalio on the gut run.
But they have no safety. They have all the linebackers at the line of scrimmage. Yep. If Linnell can get through the line of scrimmage, there's just no one back there to keep him from catching the touchdown.
So now it's 3rd and goal from the 6-yard line. The Rockies trying to punch in their 4th touchdown of the night. Ivy will split off to the left. T formation with Shalio in the middle. Hodges to his left, Smith to his right. Holloway's going to drop back. Looks for Ivy on a cut route. There it is. Touchdown! Curtis Ivy, his 2nd catch of the night. And the Rockies now lead at 26-0.
Great 12-play drive there. Just a long, consistent drive. Good games on first down. That's what Coach Barron's been looking for out of this team. And that was a last year's team drive.
12 plays, 70-yard drive that chews up 5 minutes and 59 seconds.
We'll go for 2
with the
here,
clock, and we are going for a 2-point conversion.
Again, another great cut by Curtis Ivy. It was good. It was easy for us to see here in the booth. He just cut to the inside, and that defender just couldn't stay with him.
Well, I'd say Curtis's first step is his key.
And, you know, and the other thing is, how fast is the ball getting there this year?
Yeah,
from Holloway.
All right, 2-point conversion attempt here. Holloway into the center with split backs. He's got a wing back left to pitch near side. Brock Smith will get in for the touchdown. For the 2-point conversion. So it's 28-0. The Rockies have the lead on our Maggie Moo's Ice Cream Treatery scoreboard. We'll be back. 6 minutes to go in the third quarter, Larry.
Coach Kirshner's sitting right there talking to that offensive line and to Gordy Holloway. And again, I don't want to make too much out of this, but this gentleman could be a head coach someplace. He is really getting good.
It's going to be a squib kick here. That's going to be caught by Meadows at his 10, 15-20. Scampers up to the 25 before the Rocky Special League team group, led by Rodriguez, makes the tackle.
So just a great job that time, Tony, in that drive of getting good yardage off first down.
I want to make a correction. Samuelson on the tackle.
Something that we had struggled to do earlier in the game, and we had a lot of 2nd and 9s early in the game, but not on that drive. It was a great drive. Everybody executed well, and again, another drive where Gordy Holloway just never made any mistakes at all mentally, and a great touchdown throw.
28-0. The Rockies have the lead. And Rochester on the offense. They got a receiver top and bottom out of the I formation handoff to the fullback Seacrest. And he will get nothing because Brandon Boswell would have nothing to do about it.
Yeah, I think Rochester, from what I'm seeing here, loves to run up to the middle, and it's just not there because you just cannot move this young man. You've seen that in Green Bay Packers a few years ago. They get those very strong, very large interior linemen, and there's just no room to run up the middle, and that's what Rochester's facing tonight.
2nd and 10 from the Rochester 26. The Zebras will line it up. Strem make that Mersch will be the receiver to the top, and Messersmith is down low. Split back formation this time behind the quarterback Rom. Rom looks from his 26. The snap, and it's going to be a fake handoff, and nothing happens as Rom is forced to eat it. Brandon Boswell was able to get in on the play again as he just blew back number 50 of Rochester, Travis Wappering, the young sophomore.
Travis is only a sophomore, 215. That is not even fair.
Boswell ate his lunch.
Oh my goodness, that is a great highlight there. It doesn't look, I mean, it's not like some great play, but it just shows his strength. He just pushed the blocker right back into the quarterback and blew up the play all by himself.
3rd and 14 now for the Zebras. The backs lined up in the I with the receiver to the right and Dustin Mirisch. Rom is going to hold the football and looks to throw it over the middle. His pass is going to get caught by Strim and then dropped at the 40. He had Hayden beat by his step, and Strim just could not haul it down.
Yeah, Zach taps himself on the head saying, okay, I got to get a little smarter than that. Got away with that one. But that's the great kind of kid he is. He's learning right on the go here.
So it'll be another punting situation for the Zebras on this 4th and 14 from their 22. Kyle Nelson will be back to punt this one away.
Curtis, come on.
If I'm not mistaken, this will be, what, the 3rd or 4th punt now for Rochester?
Yeah, I get you that, Tony. That I was surprised, too. They had multiples there in the first half.
Nelson with the end-over-end line drive caught by Ivy at his 45. Takes the near side, trying to stretch it out. Eludes 1, 2 to the 50. Gets a block. 45. Drake down and slung out of bounds late. That should have been a penalty, but it was not.
There's also a horse collar, and that's a new rule up at the upper levels in the college game, as he used the shoulder pads to rip him down.
But Ivy gets up, he's fine.
Ivy did a nice job of just letting his blockers do their thing and not just relying on his speed. That was what was great about that punt return.
Well, and the line judge right now is talking with John Barron, saying, this is what I saw, John, that's why I didn't throw it.
So they had 5 punts for 32 yards in the first half, and then there was another one there, so that was their 6th punt.
All right, Plymouth on the offense, leading 28-0 on the Maggie Moo's Ice Cream Treatery scoreboard. T formation behind Holloway. He's got Ivy off to the right. It's going to be a handoff, and this is Kaiser getting the call. He escapes one, but leg tackled down at the 37. So that'll be a gain of a couple of yards.
Bringing fresh ones in, pounding into that Rochester secondary.
Well, that's what having Spencer Shalio back in that lineup does. He's going to give the Houston Hodges some breathers, the Brock Smith some breathers.
Yeah, because they're playing both ways, Brock and Houston.
All 3 of your backs are playing both ways.
Right.
All the way into the center, 2nd and 8 from the 37 to Rochester. Handoff, TK. Lost it, but got it back as it bounced up to his chest right at the 34. So he ends up gaining some yards on that carry despite fumbling it.
Well, if you've done high school football like Tony and I have for multiple years, it is not unusual to see some fumbles. But this Plymouth team last year and this team this year, just, again, it's all about coaching and these kids executing and Gordy executing, but there's just so few fumbles anymore.
Smith gets a couple of yards there. 3rd and 4 now.
Great bounce.
And the ball at the Rochester 33. Ivy will split wide right. T formation again for Holloway. And Rochester jumps the gun.
Bad things happened there. I don't know what happened, but lots of bad things.
Yeah. Holloway not happy. So we'll see who this is going to be on.
I think one of our offensive linemen moved, and that's what caused defense to come over.
You're legally proceeding against the Rockies.
So the Rockies will get backed up 5. And now it'll be a 3rd down and an awful long way. It's spotted right at the 38-yard line now of Rochester. Curtis Ivy lines up on the left. T formation for Holloway. We got to go 9 yards for a 1st down here. It's going to be Holloway to keep the ball. Rolls to the right. Looks for Brock Smith in the double coverage. Smith dives and almost came up with it, but it goes incomplete.
Nice job of stretching the defense out there, Tony.
Well, I tell you what I like about that play is the fact that Holloway threw it out of the reach of the 2 defenders, and Brock Smith, just with his God-giving ability, was going to be the only one who was going to be able to make that catch. Yeah, and then he literally teardropped it right in between the 2 defenders. So It's going to be 4th and 9, and the Rockies are going to punt this one away.
Yeah, Damon Howe talking to Gordy there, so obviously we don't know what happened on that illegal procedure, but there was a little mental mix-up there. And that's one of the few times you're ever going to see that, and that's what shot this drive in the foot.
Brock Smith back to punt. He is planted at his 46-yard line. Colt Meadows has to go up, the fake indeed, and running with the football is Hodges. So 25-30. It's a first down run to the 20, but a flag is thrown right at the 33-yard line, holding Plymouth, and that will negate the run to the first down.
Tyler Shook threw a great block to Springing. In no way could they call holding on Tyler, but they called us on someone.
Tyler was asking who that's on. John not very happy with that call. So, indeed, a spot foul.
They called that on Shook.
Wow.
He got tangled up there with the defender, but it was just, they were both moving. I didn't see his arms go out. He had his arms inside his chest.
Well, if this game was a little closer, John would be a little more animated, but right now, with it being 28-0, that penalty on Plymouth will now put him 4th and 14, and Brock Smith will be back to punt again. This time he's deeper as he's planted right at his 42. Colt Meadows back for Rochester at his 10. High snap, and this one is an end over end. This is going to drop at the 10 and stop dead at the 10. What a punt by Brock Smith. Man.
Inside the 10-yard line.
I'll tell you, Brock Smith is about ready to earn my play of the game honor just for his kicking ability alone tonight.
Yeah, you know, you just can't put a value on that kind of tangent. And getting great kickoffs after the touchdowns. That's a second great punt of the night. Boy, just all kinds of little things. That one extra point did go awry, but from my angle, it was perfect. But anyway, they have a perfect view. But anyway, he's playing great.
So the Zebras have it deep in their own real estate at the 9-yard line. They've got split back formations. Mersch goes in motion to the outside, and here comes the handoff. And it's going to be Seacrest, 15-20, gets up to the 25, and that's a nice first down run by the fullback from the Rochester Zebras, Kevin Seacrest.
Yeah, Seacrest did a nice job getting him out of the hole, giving him some room to maneuver, call some different offensive plays. Got his head down, just kept going. Ivy looks like a cramp there in that leg as he's coming off.
He doesn't have much meat on those bones to begin with, so I don't know where that cramp could be. 1st and 10. And the ball up to the 22-yard line. 1st and 10 for Rochester. In motion goes Mersch to the high side. It's going to be a handoff to Meadows, and that goes for nothing. The Rockies just pile it on right at the 24. Maybe a gain of 2 for the tailback.
I tell you, the question for Coach tomorrow is, what does he think of the front defensive fours play here? I just think it's been outstanding.
On both sides.
Yeah. I think our front four has done a great job. They obviously hit that one quick run from the 9 to get him out of the hole, but again, that time there's just no place for Seacrest to go, and they're both great running backs, but there's just no place for Seacrest to go, and it's just tough for the running backs.
Kyle Seacrest splits to the near side, Strim at the top, and split backs behind Rob. He's going to throw the football. He's belted on a tackle. Bubba Gaines. Bubba Gaines came through. And that's a tackle.
Number 58, Blake Gaines.
Yeah, from the linebacker spot. Again, they're all worried about blocking the front four. He just times it perfect. And kaboom, sack time.
So now under a minute remaining, and Bubba Gaines' his first sack of the season. They'll be talking about that tomorrow during film.
What was nice about it is he stayed under control, so the quarterback didn't juke him out.
Splitting off to the right is Dustin Mersch as one receiver. Shotgun for Travis Rahm and the Rochester Zebras, and it's 3rd and 18 from their 16.
Comes another blitz.
And another blitz indeed. Dump over the middle. Pass deflected. Incomplete. Looks like TK had it. Oh, now they got a flag thrown.
Yeah, I guess Tyler's going to get that one. Tyler Shook's going to get a roughing the passer, I believe.
Personal foul against the Rockies, roughing the passer.
And John Barron not very happy.
You know, it's that edge that we're talking about. You know, those great players have to have that emotional edge, but you can't go over the other side of it.
Yep, that's a very good point. Sometimes Tyler just forgets on what side of the rope he has to be on. But I'll tell you what, when you want results, you call that. Tyler Shook.
You know, I just saw at the last second, I saw the quarterback go down. The official's looking like he hit him underneath the chin. I don't know. That's what he was saying to Coach Barron.
Clock down to 18 seconds. 1st and 10 for Rochester, now up to the 31-yard line. Shotgun formation for Rom again. He's got a receiver top and bottom. There's the snap, and it's a handoff to Meadows over the left guard. Cuts it up the middle, 35. Still on his feet. Play fumble by TK, who picked it up. He's down the right side. He may score. Spins at the 20, and they tackled down at the 14.
Yeah, great
15.
player.
TK poked it out of his hands, and then he went the rest of the way.
Great players make great plays, and I was waiting for TK to step up and do something on offense or defense. That time, he felt like he had control of the running back, so he just ripped the ball out of there, so bringing him to the ground, then picks it up on the first bounce and runs it 20 yards. Just another great play by another great player.
This happens with 7.9 seconds left, and Holloway runs to the huddle. Play clock down to 15 seconds. They break the huddle. It'll be a team formation behind Holloway here with double tights. Here we go. Holloway is going to hand it off to Hodges over the right corner. Gets to the 20, spins off, and drops down at the 17 right out of bounds, and that will end the third quarter.
At the end of the third.
So the third quarter comes to an end. And on the Mega News Ice Cream Catering scoreboard, it's 28-0 in favor of the Rockies on AM 1050 Sports. Merged to become CenturyLink, serving more than 2.1 million broadband customers today.
And People's Drugstore, the pharmacy that cares about you.
All right. It'll be 2nd and 2 for the Rockies here. The ball at the Rochester 19 as we begin the fourth quarter. There will be a T formation here with the Rockies leading by 4 touchdowns. It's going to be a handoff this direction. Houston right side got a block. 15-10. Stays on its feet. Actually hog-tied down at the 5.
Yeah,
So
Houston doing a nice job of reading his blocks and not just using his speed. And again, just another nice game. They had 213 total yards in 3 quarters. They had 108, so we've doubled them in the total yardage. Our rushing, 135 versus Rochester's 15 yards rushing. What a defensive front that we have been able to put up between the linebackers and the front 4.
Yeah, it's going to be 1st and goal from the 6, and it's a handoff to Brock Smith up the middle. Lunges. Got to the goal line, and that's as far as he'll get. So about a 4 to 5 yard run there by Brock Smith.
Curtis Ivey walking down the line saying that he's ready to go again, but right now we're looking for strong running backs to blow us in there these 2 yards.
So it's going to be 2nd and goal. The ball planted right at the 2-yard line, they say.
Let's see if Spencer gets a carry here.
Spencer is the middleman in this T formation. Holloway will fumble the ball, and he's going to have to foul on it. And a few Zebra defenders take the advantage to fall on top of him.
But you just never see that, and don't want to jinx him, but that's just not something that Gordy does very often.
Damon Howe kind of animated a little bit about the last play. So Holloway will go over and get the next play call. 10:38 and counting. It's going to be 3rd and goal from the 4-yard line now as the Rockies lost 2 yards on that last play. T formation. Charlie on the middle. Hodges left. Smith right. Double tights. Holloway under the center. And Holloway's going to give it off to the right side. Hodges stretching it near sideline. He scores! Touchdown! Houston Hodges gets into the end zone. It's 34-0 Rockies.
Yeah, they run off the right side. Nice stretch blocking that time all the way down the line. And he just uses speed to get around the corner and pick up the touchdown. Nice play, Plymouth.
Houston's first touchdown of the night. And his 2nd touchdown of the season. The Rockies now lead at 34-0, and Brock Smith on for the PAT.
Cole Mann's probably sitting on the sidelines thinking, thank you, because that pushes that score to the point where we might get to see that young gentleman.
Here comes the snap, the place by Houston, and the boot through by Brock Smith is good. 10-16 left to go in this one, and the Rockies in control, 35-0 over the Rochester Zebras. Back with more the fourth quarter after this. 51 on that last scoring drive for the Rockies. Extra point was good, 35-0.
Houston's waited his turn, his older brother, great running back here, and now it's his turn, and again tonight he's doing a nice job. Coach Barron talking to him right now.
Brock Smith,
that's the way to get it done.
Yep, Brock Smith will be kicking left to right. Back to receive Colt Meadows inside his 5. Here's the approach. Oh, Brock Smith just drilled that one.
Got that one.
He almost kicked the field goal. That's how hard Brock Smith just kicked that football.
And that flag's dead, too, so that was not wind-aided at all.
Wow.
Sponsored by our local...
That's pretty special.
That's the one you want the film of to send to somebody. That exploded off his foot.
Rockies football brought to you by Ponderosa Steakhouse of Plymouth. Try the new Mesquite Grill of freedom to taste, the campfire in every bite. And by Farmers Mutual Insurance. Integrity, security, stability, and service. That's what Farmers Mutual Insurance can provide you. Stop in and see Tammy today. 1st and 10 for the Rochester Zebras. And they're at their 20-yard line. Shotgun formation for Travis Rahm. He's got a receiver top and bottom for him. And here comes the handoff, and that's going to be to Colt Meadows. He's going to switch direction to get tackled at the 21. Boy, I tell you, Todd Young, he is really starting to show why he belongs as a starting defensive end.
Yeah, and Brock Smith got him low. Brock a little shaken up, but that was a nice double tackle there by two Rockies. They're just defensive front 8 is just getting the job done big time.
2nd and 7 now for the Zebras. They're trailing 35-0 on the Maggie Moo's Ice Cream Treatery scoreboard. On the near side is Logan Strim. On the right side, you got Kyle Seacrest. Shotgun formation, quick little out to the near side. It's going to be caught by Strim, and Shalio brings him down right at the 28. So that'll be a gain of about 5 yards on that passing play, still shy of the first down.
Real close there, but still, they give him the first down, but still a nice solid tackle after he caught the ball by Shalio.
So that's a nice play by the Zebras to get that first down. 9:22 left to go here in the game. They're trying to get out of their own end. The ball now planted at the Rochester 30-yard line. Kyle Seacrest checks in. He'll split out one way. And it'll be Dustin Mersch to split out up top. It'll be another shotgun formation for the Zebras. Back to the left and right of Rahm. Here's the snap. It's going to be a delayed handoff. It's taken by Meadows across the 30-35. Jukes up to the 40. That's a first down run for the Rochester senior tailback. So Colt Meadows, who before that only had 10 yards on the ground, and he will get another 10 there with that carry.
Yeah, that was just a great call by Coach Miller. That was a draw play. Boz, the thinking pass, was just flying up the line of scrimmage, and they let him come at the quarterback, and then he overran the running back, and that's what a draw play is all about. That's the first time they've ran the draw.
1st and 10. Now up to the Rochester 41. Mersch will split off to the right. He'll be the lone receiver. Shotgun formation for Rahm again. Macy Nelson here on this play. It's going to be a handoff, and it's going to be taken by Meadows, climbing his way to the 45 on his feet, across the 50, and he's brought right near the first down marker. So about a 9.5-yard run right there for Colt Meadows. Now, if they do decide to measure, in which they will, it'll be very close. Rockies football on AM 1050 Sports brought to you by Special. Believe you me, they're going to play 4 quarters next week when the conference starts against Warsaw. Shotgun formation, receiver top and bottom now for the Zebras. Here's the snap, and it's going to be taken by Rahm. He's going to look up over the middle, down to the near sideline for Kyle Seacrest, and Hayden able to reach out. Not quite sure if he got a piece of it, but he was in the vicinity to make sure the pass went incomplete.
And more importantly, it was a smart play by Zach as he stayed deep and did not let the receiver get out in front of him.
Yeah.
That's what you do when you got a 35-0 lead in the fourth quarter. And nice, smart playing by the Rockies.
So it's going to be 2nd and 10 now for Rochester from the Rocky 49.
See, we're susceptible to the draw here again, but with this kind of lead, is that draw really going to hurt you? Is that 7-yard gain really going to hurt you?
Strom to the near side, Mersch to the outside. Shotgun again for Rom with both backs at his side. It's going to be a handoff, and it's going to be Meadows stopped for a loss of 2 as Boswell didn't get bit this time. He stayed home and made sure that went nowhere.
Great learning curve that time as they tried the exact same draw play, but that time Boz had his head up and saw it and spun and made the tackle.
That's a great analysis right there, Larry. You said the key there, he kept his head up. He just didn't bull
rush.
So now it's 3rd and 11 and a loss of a yard on that play there for the Zebras as they back it up to the midfield stripe.
Man, even from here you can see his chest going up and down, and a lot of hard breathing out there by the right.
Good back formation with the receiver to the right. Now in motion out of the backfield goes Meadows, or Seacrest, and it's a quick out to the outside, and now a little flea flicker, and it's a pass for Nelson to tie it in, and the pass goes incomplete. Mersch was the one who ended up throwing it on the right side. But Houston Hodges on the coverage from the free safety position went to his left and broke it up.
Yeah, trick play, but again, Houston Hodges has great closing ability with the ball in the air. And while that ball was in the air, it was also underthrown. He just closed on it and got in the road of the receiver. No interference call. Bot's coming out now to get a breather. But, boy, that was a really fine, because it's a punt, really fine defensive play by Houston Hodges.
Curtis Ivey will drop back inside his 20-yard line here as Kyle Nelson will be inside the 40. Here's the snap, and from the 40, he lets it go, and it's going to be right at Curtis, who catches up at the 20. He's going to go to his right, looks for some blocks. Shook throws one. Now Ivy spins at the 40, stays on his feet, and finally brought down to the 45. Another great run by Curtis.
Still having some calf problems there with the cramping, but that was a great punt return. That might be all you see of him tonight. Yep, as he cannot get that leg to stretch out.
So, 1st and 10 for the Rockies with 7 minutes left to go in the 4th quarter. 35-0 on the Maggie Moo's Ice Cream Treatery scoreboard. Kevin Garrity is going to be the new quarterback for the Rockies as we get ready for some changes here. Backs will be lined up in a T formation for Garrity. We'll give you the numbers as we get them, and it's going to be a handoff to the right side, and that's going to be Chalio getting the call as he climbs his way up to the 47-yard line for a gain of about 2.5, 3 yards. Got Linnell Himes in there at one end. Skyler Evans. Yeah,
they haven't changed a lot.
The center is still Tyler Vermillion. It's number 50, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Brock Smith is still running in there. Yep. Houston's still in there.
Garrity, under the center, is going to take the snap, and it's going to be a handoff to Houston. He goes over the right guard, cuts it inside the 50, and then he's arm tackled down to the 46. Shy of the first down by a couple of yards.
Yeah, Houston's speed looks much more effective when the Rochester defense is one step slower because they're tired. He is really starting to look good here now in the 4th quarter, and all good running backs look better in the 4th quarter when they're tired and the defense is tired.
So a 3rd and a yard needed here for the Rockies. They'll line it up in a T formation at the Rochester 46. Garrity under the center. Here's the snap. Garrity's going to hand it off there to get the shot. Broken 40, 35 outside, 25-20, Rochester 10, tripped up at the 5. A touchdown-saving tackle there by Rochester's number 25, Artie Scheidler.
Scheidler, nice job of tracking him down, but Spencer Shalio, what great explosion. Again, here's a kid that's just been waiting to play. Makes 2 great cuts there. One 5 yards down, one 12 yards down, and then breaks it all the way down to the 6-yard line.
So a 40-yard run there for Spencer Shalio. And now it's 1st and goal from the 6-yard line. The Rockies threatening to put up another one. There'll be a T formation. Garrity gets under the center. And here we go with the side at the 33-yard line.
Spencer Shalio on the carry.
So Spence on the carry.
Nice job by the coaching staff giving Spencer a chance to get that touchdown.
Well, we need him. We need him to get as many touches as possible to get him ready by Warsaw time next week.
It'll be second goal from the 3.
So second and goal from the 3-yard line for the Rockies with 4:53 and counting to go in this contest.
Yeah, Linnell on the sideline now.
T formation for the quarterback, Kevin Garrity. Garrity is going to keep the ball, try to tuck and run it in. Can he get in? Ooh, Rochester stopped him right at the goal line.
Right at the goal line this time.
3rd and 1, 3rd and goal. Now coming up here for the Rockies from the 1.
Third goal inside the 1.
I got to give them a little bit of credit there. They're still fighting. They don't want to get scored upon again, so some pride now becoming a factor defensively for the Zebras.
Ed Johnson in there for Linnell on that tight end spot and blocking.
No, Ed, he is going to be a really, really important player for us as this season goes on. He's a senior, but he's already given us some pretty good minutes when needed. T formation. Shallow the middleman, and Garrity's going to keep it. Can he get in?
Get it.
Touchdown, Kevin Garrity!
Senior gets the touchdown.
So G-Man able to put it into the end zone.
Yeah,
3:53 left to go, and it's 41-0 in favor of the Rockies.
There's a classic example. You just work hard your whole career. Good things are going to happen your senior year. That's a nice job, Kevin Garrity.
Unofficially 6 plays, 55 yards, 3 minutes and 9 seconds. Hodges holds. Brock Smith puts in another point after. And with 3:53 left to go in this one on our Maggie Moo's Ice Cream Treatery scoreboard, it's 42-0. The Rockies with the lead. Back after this.
In part by Hoffman Brothers Auto Parts. Look no further than Hoffman Brothers to help you with your automotive needs.
And by First Federal Savings Bank, community banking at its best.
Wow, nice drive, nice finish.
Brock Smith will let it go, and this will be another touchdown.
Man.
My goodness. And Colt Meadows holds his hands up in a field goal fashion to say, that was cool. The opposing kick returner held his hands up in a field goal-like fashion to say, that's good.
Landed right at the base of the goalpost, which is like 1 yard deep in the end zone.
Unbelievable.
Out of the back of the end zone.
I'm going to have to make fun of him at church Sunday.
Okay, a lot of new. I saw Coach Garrity talking to some new players. A lot of them in there now.
All right. We'll see what we can do to help you out with that. In the meantime, it's going to be Travis Rahm still under the center with split backs for Rochester, receiver top and bottom. Rahm fumbled the ball. Nope, he didn't. He kept it. Now throws it over the middle to Nielsen, and it passes too high, incomplete. On the coverage, Mitch Holloway.
Yeah, Mitch right there on the defense that time to wrap him up, and the ball comes out.
Mitch Holloway defending on the play.
Second and 10 now for the Zebras, again from the 20. Well, I'll tell you, this is going to be another nice confidence win for the Plymouth Rockies.
Yeah, was it easy? It was hard fought. No, we just kept doing right things.
I think we just found out just how the front can be. Right. Backs lined up in the eye, receiver top and bottom. Rahm's going to hand it out to the fullback, Kevin Secret's got a big hole, 30, 40, and he's 50. He's 40, 30, 20, and that's a Rochester touchdown. The big man, Kevin Sechrest, then pulls up lame and goes down. He may have pulled they got a cramp as he hit the end zone.
Yeah, it was a nice 80-yard touchdown run. He hit the hole hard and then just kept right on going. Never really got touched by anybody.
And Dustin Merce is going to help Kevin back to the sideline. As soon as he hit the end zone, he got a cramp.
Yeah, the only thing that helps is his stats, as they're still going to go home hurting pretty hard here.
42-6. John Odell now will go on for the extra point. He was 5 for 5 last week against Peru. A bad placement, but John Odell still able to put it through the uprights, and Rochester gets on the board, 42-7. We'll keep it here. Rochester gets their first points of the evening.
But now out there talking to the younger players. Warsaw.
Yeah.
That's great.
That is never an easy.
Yeah, I just always enjoy winning when you play Warsaw. That was one of my favorite things in all three kids' careers, driving home from Warsaw winter.
John Odell will kick it right to left, and it's a line drive, one hopper fielded, and the Rockies move it up 20, 30, and brought down right around the 31-yard line. Chase Peters on the return for the Rockies. So the Rockies will get it in fairly decent field position on this possession.
Let's see if number 32 is out there. 32 is Coleman, the 6'1", sophomore.
So Coleman is out there. And the new quarterback is going to be John Ruff.
John's a sophomore, 6'1", 166-pound sophomore.
3:31 left to go in this one. It's all Rockies 42-7. It'll be a T formation. Coleman is the middle runner. And Ruff will hand it off to Cole. Tries to follow through, and Rochester saw it coming, and they dropped Cole for a loss of about a yard.
Nowhere to go. As soon as he touched the ball, the guy had him around the waist.
Quarterbacking the Rockies.
2nd and 10 coming up now for the Big Red.
Mitch Holloway also in there on the offense for this second group.
Ruff hustles in from the sideline for the play call. The game clock down to 3 minutes. 42-7, the Rockies looking to improve to 2-0 on their early season. T formation. Mann is the middle runner. Here's the snap, and Cole hits the hole right up the middle. He's going to get brought down right at the 33, 34-yard line.
That was good running, but again, somebody for Rochester, got underneath his pads, and that's what really kept him from getting about a 7-yard gain. He did pick up 4. Got to be low. Yeah, you got to be low and still be able to fly when you hit that hole up the middle.
So it's 3rd and 8 now for the Rockies from the 34-yard line of Plymouth. And once again, we'll show a T formation look. Peters, Mann, and Ryan England are the backs. It's going to be hand up to Coleman over the right guard, 35-40. Look at him lower the head and lunge for a first down. Coleman, who ended up being last week's leading rusher with 97 yards and a touchdown.
Moves the chains. That's his job. When you're that middle inside running back, you're supposed to get down and deliver punishment, and that's exactly what he did there. He actually made a nice move to get past the first tackler, got into the secondary where he's the better, stronger person, dropped his head, and blew the secondary man back for the first down.
Nice run. 1:47 and counting to go in the game. T formation again for the Rockies from the 42-yard line. Ruff will hand it off to Coleman again through the middle, 45 up to the 50. That'll be about an 8.5, 9-yard run by the sophomore.
I tell you, he was up, and I could see the numbers, but he was still cutting yards down. So call it what you want. That's what Coach Barron said last week. If he runs a little high, if he can get it done, he can get it done. And he did it right there. Boy, what a job with the coaching staff. What a great pleasure for them in these first 2 games, these first 2 non-conference games, to get everybody in.
Yeah.
You know, that they're trying to get in here.
2nd and 1 for the Rockies. The ball right at the Rochester 49-yard line. Same backfield. England, Mann, and Peters. It's going to be Ruff keeping the ball. He's going to get a first down run into the 45. Tucks it. Runs it to 40. And a big first down run with under a minute left will move the chains.
Yeah, nice job of just staying under control all the way, kind of like a Gordy Holloway. Never did anything flashy, just stayed under control, was going to make the pitch and then dug it back into his waist and made a couple more yards.
Down to 53 seconds left as Ruff comes from the sideline. The Rockies with another impressive victory here tonight.
Yeah, I think our line coach is awesome. I'm going to tell you, our line looked great.
T formation. Under the center, Ruff is going to hand it off. Peters, Ryan England straight down at the 40. No gain on that carry. Down to 25 seconds left. Coming up is our Beef O'Brady's postgame show. We'll be hearing from one of our coaches, assistant coaches, Paul Patrick or Gene Skirvin are going to come and join us.
I think we're done, Tony.
And that will be it. The Rockies are going to run out the rest of the clock. Well, they win their second game of the season, second in a row. And the non-conference games are over, and the Rockies successful in both. Final score tonight, 42-7, and the Old Hickory will stay here in Plymouth. 42-7 the final. The Rockies with the win. Stay tuned. Beef Brady's post game in a moment.